For this year's Hōʻike, the students of Kamehameha School not only rehearsed for the production, they also had the rare opportunity to work with some of Hawaii's living legends in the entertainment industry. During the rehearsal, time was taken for a panel discussion. These legendary entertainers shared their experiences with the new generation, and they will be sharing the stage with the students during this year's Hōʻike.
The era of the 1940s and 50s is such an important era, and we don't talk a lot about it in classes or in study. You know, there's no real textbook for Hawaiian music and entertainment that time period. The textbooks, the sources are living and breathing people. And that's what made one of our Saturday night rehearsals quite magical, in that we had people who represent that era interact with our students and provide for them a little bit about their own life experiences and their recollections of Hawaiian music from the 1940s and 50s. On the panel was Jeff Apaka, the son of Alfred Apaka, Nina Keli'i Vahamana. We had Auntie Genoa Keave, Dottie Ortiz, Myra English, Lovey Del Toro, and Auntie Myrtle Kehilo. Auntie Genoa was explaining a little bit about how she got started in the business, and one of the students raised his hand and said, "Could you sing a song for us?" And she said, "Of course." He said, "Would you sing Alika," which is, of course, her trademark song? And she said, "Well, certainly." And as she began to sing, those around her started to spontaneously fall into harmony and dance and a little bit of Kolohe-style spirit. And it happened just really in a matter of seconds. There was this wonderful chemistry that took over. And we were so happy that our students were able to witness that, because that's incredibly Hawaiian, and perhaps more of a rare sight nowadays. You know, the ability to on the spot make music and to enjoy yourself kind of on the spot with that kind of spirited singing and dancing. So that kanikapila aspect of it was there for all of our students to witness and to learn from. So that was quite magical. It's not very often that we have resources who are still alive. Very often when we're studying Hawaiian culture or doing cultural things, we're going back to the distant past, and we're having to essentially do a lot of academic research and a lot of recreation, reinvention. And it would be so sad to wait 10, 20 years and say, gee, I wonder what happened in the 1940s, and these people are all gone. So to recognize that in our lifetime we still have people who are walking around so willing to share, it just seemed like the perfect opportunity to seize the moment and have them participate. As we know, the theme for the overall song contest is the Hawaiian musical renaissance. And of course, we're praising songs over the last 30 years. We thought it would be important to explore the events leading up to the Hawaiian Renaissance. What was the precursor to that 1960s, 70s event? And what kinds of sounds and rhythms caught the ears of Hawaiians of the 40s and 50s? So we thought, as a nice package, we would go back a couple of decades and focus on the 40s and 50s. That way, by the end of the evening, students and the general public have a nice sweep of 50 some odd years, 50, 60 years before we turn the big page of the year 2000.
When the students came out and auditioned, a lot of them had already set up in their minds that they would be presenting perhaps a kahiko or olapa type presentation, which we've been doing in the past years. But this presentation is something just totally different. It's a lighthearted, colorful time period, and it's part of the evolution of Hawaii's history where entertainment is concerned.
The Hōʻike is really an amalgam of different times and places, locations, between the 1940s and 50s that capture a nightclub floor show. Some of the different elements will be sort of the high society elegance of the hotel or ballroom, or Hawaiian-themed showrooms throughout even the mainland. Other elements will be, of course, World War II and the presence of servicemen. We're looking at how Hawaii was perceived by Hollywood, which influenced a lot of Hawaiian people in the way they dressed and in the fashion and decor that they chose to describe the Hawaiian culture of that time period, and which is really no different from kids today being influenced by the fashion of Hollywood as well. So it's kind of like a history kind of repeating itself. We can expect swing as an important artistic theme. We have a live swing band made up of students and teachers, and the ensemble's called the Royal Kamehameha Orchestra, the RKO. And essentially what people will see is a floor show that will run from top to bottom, like you're sitting somewhere at some venue somewhere in the 40s. And we're also hoping to capture a bigger-than-life 1940s musical spirit, you know, where there were a full stage of people in costume, and sort of it was a very happy time, very happy time. And so we're hoping to capture that spirit in our delivery.
You know, in Hōʻike's past, it's been sort of, there's always been a definite message that we try to get across, and sometimes the messages are not easy messages. Sometimes it's difficult themes that we've worked with in the past, but I think this theme, it shows the lightheartedness, the beauty, the whimsical time of the 40s and the 50s. It's very, very colorful, it's very beautiful, costumes. The students even seem lighthearted, and we have the RKO orchestra and everybody's dancing, and so it captures that beautiful time, I think, and the experiences that we've all shared through this Hōʻike have been really wonderful.
What's neat is that sometimes people cross the line over into the hokey, and what's neat is that we don't feel we've ever crossed that line, and we've been able to showcase the beauty of the era, incredible beauty of the era. And another neat thing is that this era is of people who, the generation that supposedly did not carry on our Hawaiian language. I think that's an interesting point, because Hawaiian language is so big today. We look back at this era and say, geez, we lost our Hawaiian language here. But what people don't see is what that era did to maintain the beauty and the spirit of the Hawaiian people. The love, the joy, the spontaneity.
For me, the music is much more whimsical. It's much more romantic. The lyrics of yesterday is so very different from the music that we hear today. I think Nina explained that very well in what she had to share with the kids. She had shared with the students how her mother taught her to sing from the heart. You can never go wrong if you just sing from the heart.